Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Monday the 11th of July 2022. If you can hear some background noise, apologies for that. That is my fan, and because these videos I usually waffle on for about 20 minutes, I really need to keep cool, so sorry about that. But we're going to start the video off with Gary Rowett's comments on the game on Saturday. So what's he had to say about it? LondonNewsOnline.co.uk. This is from Millwall boss gives his verdict on 5-4 behind closed doors friendly defeat to Crystal Palace. Millwall manager Gary Rowett was happy with the workout his players got in Saturday's behind closed doors friendly at Crystal Palace. The Eagles won 5-4 in a match played at their training ground base. New Lions signing Zion Fleming and Charlie Cresswell both scored with Benicophobe bagging a brace. Rowett told the club's recast channel, "It was always going to be a tough game, our first match against a team who moved the ball so well, as we found in the cup last season. It gives you a different kind of test. There were some very, very good things and very good moments, and some moments that we need to improve on in possession. We gave the ball away for 3 of the goals a little bit cheaply. We scored some very good goals. It's very easy to look at the end result and be negative about certain aspects. We need to defend better, and we conceded poor goals at poor times, but overall it was a good workout. The new players had a chance to show what they were all about, and some young players as well. We put 2 very mixed teams out there against certainly the 60 minutes of Premier League side. With the heat, it was hard to inject so much tempo into it. 4 or 5 goals were set piece ones, and it shows the importance of them, not just attacking but defending. Phoebe and Honeyman played the opening 45 minutes with Fleming and Cresswell coming on after the interval. You can train all you want, but it's games where you start to get used to your teammates, what they do and how they react," said Rowett. There were some good moments from George Honeyman in the first half, some excellent moments from Bennett, who we all know all about. Cressy hit some lovely diagonals and defended well. Zion, a little bit of skill for the goal. Billy Mitchell moves in and opens up some space for Zion. It's a good bit of skill first and a great finish. I'm a little disappointed we then concede a sloppy goal in the back of it to make it 5-4. A couple more chances at the end we should have taken. Hutch's was an excellent chance. And then it cuts off there. So there you go. Just seems South London Press writing up the interview with Gary Rowett for recast. So if you can't or won't watch it on recast, watch the ads to get the credits, to use the credits to watch Gary Rowett's interview. South London Press have done you a favour and written it up for you so you can read it. And now here I'm doing you a favour again by reading it out loud to you, so you don't even have to read it. You can close your eyes and just listen to me reading it. Isn't that great? The wonders of modern technology. So we're going to move on now to this from this is from news@den.co.uk. Apparently we have a 5th signing imminent. Millwall boss believes 5th signing is imminent. Gary Rowett is confident that Millwall will announce another signing by the time they face Colchester United. The Lions have 2 pre-season friendlies matches this week, starting with a trip to Dartford on Tuesday evening before facing the U's in Essex on Friday. The Millwall boss told News@Den that the club is still working hard to bring players in as soon as possible, and that he expects to have at least 1 new face in his squad by the time they visit the Colchester Community Stadium. "It would be nice if we could. I think it'd be very important to try, but that's all we can do," Rowett explained. "We know what type of player we want. We know who we want to sign. It's trying to get those players in as quickly as we can. But also, there might have to be 1 or 2 areas where we might have to be a bit patient to get the right player. So again, it's about finding a balance. It's hard to know when that balance will be achieved. We're working hard, and I'm pretty sure we'll have at least another signing in place by then." Millwall have signed 4 players so far this summer, and have broken their transfer record to bring Zion Fleming to the Den from Eredivisie side Fortuna Sittard. The Lions are one of a number of Championship clubs that have been linked with a move for Leeds United midfielder Jamie Shackleton. So are they? Is he telling us there without telling us? He's not saying. He's just saying. He's not saying it's the 5th signing will be Jamie Shackleton. He's saying Millwall have been linked with Jamie Shackleton, by the way. Yeah, apparently there are a lot of rumours. I don't know, like people in the know post on Twitter. Well, who the fuck are they? I don't know who they are, and I don't know what they know. Well, they're writing it up like they're in the inner circle. They know what's happening. But this is what's been said. We are trying to sign Jamie Shackleton. It's more or less a done deal. The only thing that's holding it up at the moment is Millwall want to put a clause in the contract that at the end of the loan, season-long loan, that a fee is written into the contract that if all three parties agree, the player, Millwall and Leeds, that a permanent transfer is conducted. That's what's holding it up. Because Millwall must think he's really mustard to do that, because they don't want him to come in, play an absolute blinder, and then we're left looking like idiots when he goes off and joins someone else for a lot more money, because we didn't tie the deal down in advance. So I think that's what's going on. I have no idea if it is, but we will see. So yeah. And now, speaking of that Colchester game, Millwall announced today, this is from millwallfc.co.uk, you can watch the Lions at Colchester United on Millwall TV. If you do not fancy going up to Colchester United on a Friday night, you can sit in your house, home, flat, garden, workplace, van, car, caravan, wherever you are in the world at the time, on Friday the 15th of July at 7:30, and you can watch it. Supporters can now purchase a match pass to watch Millwall's pre-season friendly at Colchester United on Friday night, kick-off at 7:30. The Lions continue their fixture schedule with a test against the U's, and for just £5 you can watch all the action live. So yeah, but again, Friday's stream will be provided by Colchester United with full match commentary coming from BBC Essex. So here's the thing about the game at Crystal Palace. Like I said, it looked like it was Crystal Palace's feed, although Mill did have Carl Bates and Max McClellan do a piece to camera. But was that set up by Crystal Palace? We're still to see what the Mill team are going to be doing, if you understand, because that was Crystal Palace's situation, and they're literally telling you here this is going to be Colchester United's situation. And they're not even going to have Carl Bates there doing a commentary, or Max McClellan, or Les Briley, or whoever would do it. So they're not even going to bother sending a commentary team there. They're just going to take the feed from BBC Essex. Okay, that's. I just want to watch the game. Like, I don't care. You could probably mute it and put something else on. You know, just watch the game with the sound down and put something else on. Yeah, so that's happening this Friday again, £5. And like I said the other day, I imagine Colchester United don't care if you go down there or if you pay online. They're probably quite happy not to have Millwall fans travel to their stadium. They probably don't like us. A lot of other teams don't want us turning up. They restrict our ticket sales. They make us do weird collections in service stations and other nonsense like that. So I'm sure they're absolutely jumping up with joy that a lot of Millwall fans will stay away and watch it online, which is fine, you know. It is what it is. So let's crack on. Now, one game that will not be shown on Millwall TV is the Dartford game tomorrow, Tuesday night. Preview of Dartford versus Millwall from millwallfc.co.uk. So Millwall travel to Dartford for a pre-season friendly at Princes Park on Tuesday night, kick off 7:45 p.m. The fixture acts as the first chance for the supporters to see the 22-23 squad in the flesh, following Saturday's 5-4 behind closed doors defeat to Crystal Palace. Gary Rowett will be able to give minutes to as many as his squad once more against Darts, with new signings Zion Fleming, George Honeyman, Benik Phoebe and Charlie Cresswell set to play in front of fans for the first time. Tickets for Tuesday's game are on sale here, priced at £10 adults, £5 concessions and £2 children. Tickets are selling quickly, so don't miss out. This fixture will not be shown on Millwall TV. If you are unable to make it to Kent, then updates from Princes Park will be available on the Lions official Twitter account, with a report and all the reaction published on millwallfc.co.uk following the final whistle. So this is not being shown on Millwall TV. Like I probably guessed the other day, Dartford. There's close relationship between Dartford and Millwall. I imagine a lot of Dartford fans are probably former Millwall fans, or both Millwall and Dartford fans, or that they know them, that they know a lot of Millwall fans. They're probably in the same family. There's no animosity between Dartford FC or Dartford fans and Millwall fans. It's one big happy family. I don't think there's going to be trouble, which is why they don't mind having the place full of Millwall fans. As long as you come in, pay your money, go to the bar, drink the bar dry, they'll make a lot of money. Absolutely fantastic for Dartford. Good luck to them. Now, here's the thing. They're telling you to buy tickets in advance. A lot of people have been online saying, can we pay on a day? Can we pay on a day? Can we pay on a day? And they're not getting an answer. They're not really getting... Here's why you're not getting an answer to that. If they sell out all the tickets in advance, which probably they haven't announced it yet, and it's a bit late now because the game's happening tomorrow, so I doubt that they will, then obviously there is a capacity there. They can't let anyone else in. But what is the capacity? So this is Prince's Park Dartford Wikipedia page. If you look on the right hand side, the capacity, it says, is 4,100 with 642 seated. Now Dartford on a good day, what do they bring in? They around 1,000 fans, so let's say it's probably 900 fans, and that leaves around 3,000 tickets for Millwall fans, which is not bad. And their actual record crowd is literally near enough. That's 4,097. That was their first game back in 2006. So their opening game in the league, in a league fixture, got a crowd of 4,097, and that's their record. Now, how likely are Millwall to get that? Now, there's been a lot of buzz about it, but here's the thing: a lot of people, they pay for their season ticket. They bought tickets for 23 matches in advance for doing that. They ain't got money to go to this game. They don't go to the cup game, the Carabao Cup. We're lucky if we get 3,000 for that, if it's a home game, because they've already spent their money buying 23 tickets in advance on a season ticket. You know what I mean? And if they got family, if they got kids, they need that money. They can't just drop, what would it be, like 100 quid? Maybe not that much. If you want to do it on a budget, you could. I mean, just get some tins from the off license, stay outside the ground, £10 a ticket. When you go in, maybe buy 1 pint in there. You can do it for like 20 quid, maybe 30 quid. But again, it's like, it's money that you might need for something else, especially in this day and age with electricity bills and gas bills going up. So a lot of people won't be going there. I think you should be alright if you go down and try and pay on a day. I would recommend you get there a bit early. The kickoff's 7:45. If you get there around 7, you should be okay. Anything later than that, then they might shut the turnstiles, which is a bit weird, but hope it doesn't get a bit weird after that if they do that. So how likely are Millwall to get to that capacity, and will you get turned away if you try and pay on a day? Let's have a look. I've found 2 match reports from when we played them pre-season many years ago. This one is from 2014, and they had the crowd. So what was the crowd? If we go down to the bottom of the year, attendance was 2,441. 2,441. So nowhere near the 4,000. And if we look at another one from 2016, the crowd for that one was, have I missed it? I've gone past it. 1,407. So here's the thing: you should be pretty fine if you go and rock up and want to pay on a day. Shouldn't be a problem for you. If it does, if we do sell out, then that's I'm going to be really impressed, and it's going to be a sign of the signings that we've made and the optimism that Millwall fans have going into this season, and it's going to be something to behold. If we do get a crowd, what the crowd is for that. Both of these match reports are from Kent Messenger at kentonline.co.uk. Obviously in tomorrow's video I'll tell you about the match result on that. I'm not going to the game. I'm probably just gonna lay around in front of a fan eating ice cream all day, because it's set to be absolutely scorching. Moving on now to, we're going to finish the video with a couple of interviews from Murray Wallace. So this is from a website called footballscotland.co.uk. What they seem to have done is they've called up Murray Wallace, or Zoom called with him, FaceTime, whatever, and they've had a little interview with him. Then they wrote it up as a story, but then for some reason they've also put out the Q&A, the interview, where they write a question and then write the thing. So we're going to go through both of them. I don't know if they're pretty much the same for some reason. So we got this one. This was published at 3 o'clock. And this one was published at 4. So kind of weird that they did it at the same time. Surely you would want to maybe do one day, one the day after, drip it out. I don't know. Kind of weird. So Murray Wallace opens up on Scotland frustrations as Millwall's Player of the Year refuses to give up on cap dream. The 29-year-old defender has made a name for himself down south, but has yet to earn international recognition. Yeah, what's the matter with that? What the fuck's that about? Now, here's the thing though. We were all saying, why didn't he get called up for the Nations League game? Why didn't he get called up? However unlikely it was that he was going to get called up, he was actually injured, remember? He got injured in the last game against Bournemouth. So that was off the table. He couldn't be involved in those Nations League games. Murray Wallace may not have lifted any major silverware in his career so far, but the defender has become a serial Player of the Year winner in England. Aged 29, the Scot has carved out an impressive career down south with Huddersfield, Scunthorpe United and now Millwall. A fan's favourite at each club he has played for, Wallace has racked up more than 300 appearances in the English leagues and has developed a reputation as a goal-scoring defender in recent years. His last-minute winner against Everton in January 2019 was the pick of the bunch, as Wallace sent Marco Silva's star-studded Premier League side crashing out of the FA Cup during a famous night at the Den. After starting his career at Falkirk, Wallace has been quietly making a name for himself in England and scooped a hat-trick of Player of the Year awards with Scunthorpe in 2017. His form with Millwall last season, where he was virtually ever present with 42 appearances, also saw him voted as fans Player of the Year. Wallace was part of a formidable Lions defence who conceded the joint fourth fewest goals in the English Championship, recording 14 clean sheets in the process. A versatile and left back in his preferred position as centre half, the former Rangers youth is a team player and his stats are among some of the best in the English second tier. So it's easy to understand why the uncapped stopper may be left scratching his head as to why he's never had a chance to play for his country. Gordon Strachan, Alex McLeish and Steve Clark have all overlooked Wallace, who is still awaiting his first call-up. Well, we know why, doesn't it? We know why. It's because he's playing for Millwall. If he was playing for Rangers, he would be in there in a heartbeat. Speaking exclusively to Football Scotland, Wallace admitted, "Of course it frustrates me. I've said it throughout my career. It's obviously a massive dream and ambition of mine to play for Scotland. It's obviously at this point where you feel like you've been overlooked despite doing well, but you've got to respect the manager in charge. They're choosing the teams they want to win games, so I can completely understand that. It's just disappointing when they don't view you as part of that." Wallace turns 30 in January and knows time is running out for him to fulfil a lifelong dream by playing in front of the Tartan Army at Hampden. He said, "I feel like I can get a call up any time. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm a good enough player to play for Scotland, especially after last season when I've been banging form. There have been periods in my career where I've been in good form and thought there might have been a chance. But like I say, it's disappointing when you don't get that recognition or call up. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing and hopefully it will come one day." I think as well, to not even have a conversation as such to say, well, we'll have someone come and watch you or keep doing what you're doing, anything like that. Do you know what I mean? I just feel overlooked, I suppose. Yeah, that's it. They're not even coming to look at him. They're not sending scouts to look at him. Like, really? Maybe here's the thing: if there's any Scotland fans watching this, maybe that's why you're not doing that good at the moment, because they're not following up all the leads. And you've got countries like Ireland, literally, they'll sniff you out if your like great granddad once visited Ireland, and they'll try and get you to play for their team. They'll try and finesse the rules to get you in. And Scotland, there's a natural born Scottish player. He's born in Falkirk, born and bred, played for Rangers youth, come down to England. I don't know what happened to how he got let go by Rangers, but worked his way up through the leagues, playing absolutely blinding. But they're not even sending people to look at him. Despite being a key player for Millwall, who narrowly missed out on the playoffs by finishing 9th last term, Wallace has watched over other Scots play at a similar or lower level and pick up caps. Yeah, that's the thing. Nottingham Forest defender Scott McKenna and Bournemouth playmaker Ryan Christie are both regulars in the national team. And QPR's Lyndon Dykes is always called upon, while Luton Town midfielder Alan Campbell, Stoke City's Jacob Brown, and even Sunderland hitman Ross Stewart, who played League One football last term, all recently made their international bows. So what more can Wallace do to force his way into Clark's plans? Hearts fans said, I suppose you could look at Millwall and say they might not be the most attractive club or whatever, but if you look at how we've been doing in the Championship, we're a solid and effective team. If anything, the one thing we do really pride ourselves on is our solid defensive record. We don't concede many goals over the past few seasons. We've been up there with the highest amount of clean sheets and lowest amount of goals conceded. In terms of defensive statistics, I think Millwall was a really good club to show off those skills, I suppose. Yeah, and he's part of that. I believe in my own ability, and I'm hopeful I'll get one day get the call up. The way I look at it, is there a reason why I wanted to play in the Championship as opposed to the SPFL or whatever? I just feel like it's a more competitive and higher standard league at the minute anyway. I want to play at the highest level possible to give myself the best chance to get in that squad. Yeah, and it's kind of sad, isn't it? It is sad that if he left Millwall in January and went to sign for Rangers or Celtic, I think he'll probably join Rangers if they'll have him. He'll get in the Scotland squad literally within a couple of months. And it's sad. It's like a penalty. He's being penalised for playing for Millwall. It's a fucking piss take. Like they say here, other players in the Championship are being selected, and they're not even then sending someone to look at him. Absolute fucking joke. Now it's Scottish fans do rib on the SFA. I mean, they literally rip them like the FA used to get ripped before, like old grey men in suits. That's pretty much what the SFA is now still. Whereas you see the FA, they've kind of put the modern spin on it. They're trying to do all this stuff like Southgate, trying to do woke stuff and shit like that. So yeah, but the SFA are still grey men in suits. So like I said, they did the interview and they put that story together, but then at the same time they put this out as well. So let's see how. Hopefully it doesn't repeat itself too much, and there is some extra stuff in here that will be worth reading. Murray Wallace Q&A as Millwall hero talks life at the Den, Arch transfer rumours and Scotland frustrations. The 29-year-old Scot speaks exclusively to Football Scotland as he opens up on his career so far, and this is from footballscotland.co.uk. Murray Wallace may not be a familiar name to most football fans north of the border. However, the Millwall defender hopes it won't be long before he becomes an international star for his beloved Scotland. Yeah, and then they go through most of the stuff we've read. Since leaving Falkirk in 2012, the former Rangers youth stars played for Huddersfield Town, Scunthorpe, and now Millwall. Okay, and here's the interview that they did, and they richly just typed it up. How are you enjoying life at Millwall, Murray? It's brilliant. Since I've joined, I've been the same core group of players up until maybe last year when there was a bigger change of players. This year there were quite a few who had left, so the group has changed quite a bit since I first joined, but in terms of the club, it's brilliant. Indeed, he's making a good point there. Literally, every year that goes by, and this year especially, the team that Millwall will be putting out next season will more or less be Gary Rowett's side. It's his players, more or less, that he signed, and we'll see how he gets on with that. It was a decent season last season, finishing 8th in the Championship. You must be pleased with that. In an ideal world, we want to progress every year. We had a strong... we finished 9th. Why? This is like the second time someone's got this wrong. We finished 9th. Unless... Am I going crazy? Are they gaslighting me? I swear we finished 9th. In an ideal world, we want to progress every year. We had a strong season a couple of years ago when we finished 7th. The aim was just to keep improving the points total as opposed to the position. That's all you can do. Like, you get as many points as you can get, and then however the other teams do is where you get. We managed to do that last season when we finished with 69 points, and we took it right down until the last day, where we still had a chance of reaching the playoffs, which is the first time that's happened for a long time. It was a strong season, and we just hope that we can kick on and close that gap and get in the playoffs. I think, I don't know if I'm going a bit crazy. I think we could do a bit more than that. It's not going to be easy, but if we sort our away form out and these new players gel, and depending on who this 5th signing is, I think we could realistically look. If we aim to get in the playoffs and we miss, you finish 7th, 8th, 9th, whatever. If you aim to finish in the top 2 and you miss, you finish in the playoffs. So, depending on how these pre-season games go and how it all comes about, if it's working out, they should aim for top 2. They should aim for top 2, and if we don't get it, we can still get in the playoffs. What are the club's aspirations? Do they have realistic ambitions on playing in the English Premier League? Unlike quite a lot of Championship clubs, Millwall is actually run as a proper business football club. Zing! They haven't come into the Championship and thought we'll start splashing the cash. A lot of clubs have done that and they've suffered from it. You look at Derby and Sheffield Wednesday, big teams who've got points deductions and penalties for overspending and now paying a price. I think as well, with the impact of COVID over the years, a lot of clubs who have been overspending have been struggling, but Millwall have been slowly building as the team have been progressing and finished higher up the Championship. Millwall have been starting to build their squad in a sense and try and progress by bringing in better caliber players with the better positions we finish in. Exactly. At the start of the season, does the manager mention the playoffs of the Premier League? He's built this squad now, that's what I said, and the players are all ambitious and have that hunger and desire to make it there. I don't think putting that label on it at the start of the season makes that much difference. Of course, we want to finish as high up the league as possible. As a group, we obviously hope to progress and reach those playoffs this year. But if we can just build on the points total, then we should be there or thereabouts. Millwall fans are notorious across British football. Across the world, mate. What is it like playing in front of them? It's definitely better playing with them supporting you. Ha 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 ha. I played in the Den a few times in the opposite team. Now it was an experience. They definitely let you know who they support. It's nice to be on the right side of them. When you get a full Den, it's quite special. There's been a few moments in my time there, such as the cup runs and London derbies, we've had a packed out Den. It's some atmosphere. You've become a big fan's favourite at Den. You must have been delighted to have been crowned Supporters Player of the Year. Yeah, I was delighted. It's always nice to know that the fans appreciate your efforts you put in. Obviously a lot of work goes in, which is what they don't see. It's nice when it all comes together at the weekend and they just enjoy your performance. It's a nice bit of praise to receive. It's obviously nice when you've got 20,000 fans and they're all buzzing with your performances. That's massive. Have the fans crafted a chant for you yet? One Murray Wallace perhaps? Do you know what? I think I did start to hear some chants in the last few games of the season. I can't really remember. I think it might have been something like one Murray Wallace. I'll take anything. It's nice when you go and applaud the fans at the end of the game and they got a little song for you. Have you spotted any Scottish flags at games? There's always Scottish flags up in the Den. There's always a saltire somewhere. I think there's actually a bit of a connection with Scottish supporters in Millwall. It might go far back as being some sort of Rangers connection. I've no idea, but I think there might be some half decent Scottish following in Millwall. Your stats are pretty good too. 6 goals and 1 assist in 43 games last season. You seem to have evolved into a goal scoring defender over the years. Yeah, I don't know how that's happened. It's obviously something that we work a lot on at Millwall. We do a lot of set pieces and we're quite a big physical side. It's important that we score from set pieces because it can win you the game sometimes. Oh, it's important because we can't really score from other places, to be honest with you. It's something we work really hard on, so it's nice to get those sort of returns. 6 goals is not bad for a centre-back. Hopefully we can get some more this year. That would be nice. In 2019, you scored a famous winner in the FA Cup against Everton. What was that like, and was it the best moment in your career so far? I think it was probably the best moment of my career so far. I touched on Den atmosphere previously, but that night was special. A last-minute winner against a Premier League side. I forgot about it sometimes, and then you get the odd fan who mentions it on Twitter or sends you a video. It's just nice to have a little watch back for 5 minutes and reminisce. Like I do when I score most of my goals, I get too excited and forgot to do a proper celebration. It's just such a good atmosphere, and to celebrate in front of all the fans going mental was a crazy night. You've added versatility to your game in recent years, playing at both left back, centre back. What's your preferred position? I would say that I'm probably better centre back. At the same time, I do enjoy playing left back. There's obviously more chances to attack, especially with this manager and the formation we play with 5 at the back. I can play left wing back, left back, or if we change to a 4, left-sided centre back. I can play in plenty of positions and adapt myself to it. You've managed to carve out a really successful career down south at English Championship level, yet have been totally overlooked by Scotland. Does that frustrate you? Oh yeah, of course it frustrates me. I've said throughout my career, it's obviously a massive dream and ambition of mine to play for Scotland. It's obviously at this point where you feel like you've been overlooked despite doing well, but you've got to respect the manager in charge. They are choosing the teams they want to win games, so I completely understand that. It's just disappointing when they don't view you as part of that. Has there ever been a point where you felt you had a good chance of getting a call up? I feel like I can get a call up any time. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm a good enough player to play for Scotland, especially after last season when I've been in good form. There's been periods in my career where I've been in good form and thought there must have been a chance. But like I say, it's disappointing when you don't get that recognition or call up. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing and hopefully it will come one day. I think as well, to not even have the conversation as such, say, well, we'll have someone come and watch you or keep doing what you're doing, anything like that. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like I've overlooked really. You've obviously shown terrific form as your Player of the Year award underlines, so why do you think you've not been given a chance? I suppose you could look at Millwall and say they might not be the most attractive club or whatever, but if you look at how we've been doing in the Championship, we're a solid and effective team. If anything, the one thing we do really pride ourselves on is our solid defensive record. We don't concede many goals. Over the past few seasons, we've been out there with the highest amount of clean sheets and lowest amount of goals conceded. In terms of defensive statistics, I think Millwall's a really good club to show off those skills. The likes of David Marshall, Scott McKenna, Ryan Christie, Alan Campbell, Jacob Brown, Lyndon Dykes, and even Ross Stewart have all been involved despite playing outside the English Premier League. Does that make it even harder for you to swallow, or does it give you hope that the call might come one day? I believe in my own ability, and I'm hopeful that I'll one day get the call up. The way I look at it is there's a reason why I wanted to play in the Championship as opposed to SPFL or whatever. I just feel like it's a more competitive and higher standard league at the minute anyway. I want to play at the highest level possible to give myself the best chance to get into that squad. You spent the vast majority of your career down south, but were previously linked with Hearts. Were there any truth behind those rumours? I'm not too sure. It could have been many years ago. I don't know if that just comes down to the fact I'm a Hearts fan. I don't think there was anything material in it. Not that I'm aware of anyway. There might have been something going on behind the scenes, but it wasn't any contact or anything like that. I think I'm right in saying you're a Hearts fan, right? Would you like to play for the club one day? I just want to play at the highest level possible for as long as possible. I think everybody would love to play for their boyhood club or the team that they support, but we'll see that one takes us. I'm not too sure about that. So, basically, if he can't get a job somewhere else that pays him more money, then yeah, he'll come back to Hearts. He'll put it on the table. You played with Oliver Burke for a brief spell. How did he get on during his loan? He was brilliant. He's one of the quickest players I've ever played with. He got on really well with us all. We actually tried to re-sign him and were hopeful to get him through the door, but he's just signed for Werder Bremen the other day. He's obviously played in Germany before and they knew all about him. He's a talented player and he's got some good attributes like his pace. It's a shame we couldn't get him back because of all the lads enjoyed having him about, and he was a good player. He's obviously joined Werder Bremen. Do you think he'll be a success there? I think so. I'm not too sure how he got on previously at Leipzig. I don't think he played as much as he probably wanted, but they know all about him having played in Germany. I think he scored a couple of goals in one of their pre-season friendlies already, so he seems to be doing all right. And there you go. And you can see why he wrote that down into a story, because that was bloody long, wasn't it? But yeah, Murray Wallace there. He loves being at the Den. Doesn't really want to play in Scotland because it's not good enough league. No offence, he says it. And he wants them. Well, maybe that's why they ain't called you up, if you keep shitting on the Scottish leagues. But yeah, and mounting Murray Wallace there. Hopefully he has a good season this season. He gets his Scottish call up, or at least they fucking send someone down to take a look at him. Anyway, on that note, thank you for watching, if you still are, and goodbye.